أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري. Last time we had left the discussion on taqwa at this point. So this was the last slide. So I will take up from the slide where we left the discussion. So we had reached the point where we had started the scientific approach to the concept of taqwa. We are discussing taqwa from different angles, from different dimensions, but basically we are focused with Quran. We are focused at Quran. And all these concepts we are examining. We are just examining these concepts which are revolving around the basic concept of taqwa as given in Quran. And when we use the term taqwa, whether we translate it as consciousness, as piety, or as fear, these three major translations. Whatever translation we pick up as consciousness, as piety, or as fear, and we refer to taqwa, their taqwa means consciousness of God. Their piety means piety of God, as defined by God, as described by God, as directed by God. And when we talk about fear, we refer to the fear not as the English translation, but fear as defined in the Quran in this context. Sorry. So in this discussion, we have to keep one thing in mind, that we are discussing taqwa, not just consciousness as translated in English, not just fear as in the English meaning, or as piety. So our focus is taqwa as in Quran, but we are discussing in order to understand the different aspects, and they are, since these are being translated and presented in different languages. Deeper scientific aspect of taqwa, and we are now referring to consciousness. As consciousness, it is the continuous dimension. It is the continuous aspect. It is the continuous part of evolution. Consciousness has developed with the evolution of the universe. The consciousness has developed with the evolution of life, and consciousness has developed with the evolution of human being. And that is the higher level, that is the highest level with the human being. With Adam, it became the high, it was brought to the highest level. From Big Bang to date, the scientists say, the neurologists say that so far as consciousness is concerned and its elements like intelligence, they are all the time evolving. Human brain is evolving. And with the evolution of human brain, the intelligent generations coming after intelligent generations, the level of consciousness is increasing. That's different whether we are using it as a God consciousness, or we are just investing the faculties which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, and He is continuously developing them. Therefore, it is the degree of consciousness that makes man superior in animal world. Degree of consciousness, not just consciousness. There is consciousness in the animal world also, but it's the degree of consciousness that makes man superior in animal world. What does that mean? It means that the taqwa, as defined by Quran, is the basic element, is the basic ingredient, it is the foundational feature which makes man superior to all other animal world. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned, has given comparison between dead and the living man, between the animals and the human being. What is the difference? The difference is the level or the degree of consciousness. And when we translate, when we discuss it with with the original word of Quran, that is taqwa. The taqwa is the basic thing which makes man superior in the animal world and even among other human beings. And as compared to other human beings among themselves, when we compare, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that all are not equal. Even as groups of human beings, they are not equal. And the difference is the degree of consciousness. Understanding of consciousness. Now we are trying to understand consciousness. We are discussing one aspect of taqwa, that is consciousness, leaving aside piety and fear. Understanding of consciousness distinguishes between mind and body. When we try to understand what is consciousness, then, and as a human being, as Adam, as Bani Adam, now we try to understand the difference between the mind and the body, the distinction between the mind and the body, the connection or the connectivity, or because of the consciousness, the link between the mind and body is also through the taqwa. The taqwa is defined in Quran. It is the taqwa which creates the distinction, and because of distinction, it requires, for working together, it requires a link also, a connection. Connection, when we are talking of connections, it means there are different parts which have to be connected. Connection between the mind and the body. These are two different components of a human being, and they need to be linked. And these are linked through connectivity. That connectivity is provided by the term taqwa, between mind and body, and between mind and the world. There are many animals, but there is a difference of their connection, difference in the degree of their connection with the world, and even with their own body. I had given an example at one time that all animals don't recognize themselves. For example, elephant recognizes itself in the mirror, but all animals don't recognize themselves. They cannot connect themselves with the world. There are millions of animals, types of millions, who cannot connect their mind with the world. But those who can connect themselves, they first of all recognize themselves. There's a sense of recognition of their own self, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given at the highest level to the human being. How we fashion ourselves, how we decorate ourselves, how we like ourselves, how we love ourselves. But when we can do this, we can connect our body with the mind. And now there is an important element that the mind has to be connected with the world, the cosmos. That connectivity is required. And that connectivity comes through the world view which Quran has given. The world view is Amantu billahi wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi. All the elements. This is the another level of connectivity. Here, the atheist connects with the world. He connects only with the cosmos, the physical world. And the person who probes through the Quran, he connects himself with the manifestations of creation. He connects himself with the Creator, Allah. Amantu billah. He is the Creator. He is the Lord. He is the Creator. This is, at that time, the level of knowledge and the direction of the direction of the knowledge, particularly in those days, at that time, centuries ago, was not as much as the Muslims deviated. Most of the Muslims, they deviated from the scientific process. They killed their own scientists. And then when they, towards Sufism, at this point, they left the scientific probe into the world of Quran to reach the Creator through the explanations which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given in the Quran in the phenomenon of nature. Surah Ar-Rahman, in every surah, in fact, in every surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala refers to the nature. When He refers to the nature, He refers to the connectivity which the nature provides. If we understand the natural history, if we understand the natural science, it creates connectivity with the Creator, from the creation to the Creator. So it is here that the mind and the world, the connectivity between the mind and the world, and the connectivity between the mind and the world view. We have lost the world view. We are overawed by the Western civilization, Western thought, that we have lost any connection. We are connecting ourselves with the cosmos, with the world, but we have lost our connection. It's connectivity with the Creator who created this world, who created this universe. The Western thought is stopping at the universe itself. Aristotle stopped at the universe. He said that universe itself is eternal. Matter is eternal. Matter will live. It has always been there. It is eternal. But we believe that matter is the creation of the Creator. The Creator is the eternal. Creator is eternal. At this point, there is a disconnection. Now, theologians, in comparison to these views, the theologians, they pick up the thread from here and they connect the cosmos with the Creator, Theologians interpret it as relationship between mind and God, not just relationship between mind and world, not just as a relationship between mind and body. The present science is stuck up at this mind and body. And then at a higher level, the Western philosophy particularly, is stuck up with the relationship between mind and the world, the cosmos. They discuss it sometimes in the terminology of cosmos, but the theologians interpret it as the relationship between mind and God. And it is here that the word taqwa is the most appropriate word. Here you can use the word mind and world, connectivity. Here also you can use the word consciousness, between mind and body. Consciousness, here also it is consciousness and connectivity. But when we use this phrase, when we use this philosophy, then it is here that the word taqwa is relevant. This means taqwa, relationship between mind and God. It is not just a relationship between body and God. These are two aspects. We are performing only the ritual in the world through the body, making sujood through the body, making gestures through the body. But are we connected? Is our mind connected when we are offering a prayer? Where is our mind? Where is our thought? Where is our intention? Where is our thought process? Where is our heart at that time? So, a relationship between mind and God. And then there's another technical approach. Technically, it is the connectivity with the cosmos. That is, I mentioned earlier, which is particularly pursued by the scientists. But now scientists are coming to discuss these issues also, that it is not just a connectivity with cosmos, but the cosmos itself has a mind of God. We will find a lot of literature on this, mind of God. In what is that? Shah, inshallah. What is in the mind of God? Isa alayhi salam, on the last day when he is resurrected, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks him a few questions which are given in the Quran. And he says that when I don't know what is in your mind. When I left, you were with my people. You know what they did. And after that, it means he never returned again. He said, when you took me up, since then I am with you. I don't know what is in your mind. You know what the people did after me. He's replying to the question. So it is the connectivity with cosmos. Here, technically, when we use the word taqwa, then it becomes the connectivity with the creator of the cosmos. And metaphysically, in metaphysical terms, we are, as I in the beginning I said, we are discussing different aspects of taqwa, consciousness, and within consciousness, we are discussing different aspects of different concepts of taqwa, consciousness, and metaphysically, it is the connectivity with the Creator Lord. So, what does it mean? That philosophically, scientifically, we can reach the point where we can connect ourselves. We can be conscious of God. We can connect ourselves with God metaphysically at the transcendent level, above the material level, above the metaphysical level. Then it becomes the metaphysic above the metaphysical, not just the metaphysical. Metaphysical is also physical. When Aristotle first time used the word metaphysica, and he wrote the book Metaphysica, that was beyond the physics. Beyond the physics, at one point of time, it was considered that beyond atom, it is metaphysics. But even beyond atom, it is physics. Now, even beyond the particle, it is physics. Even beyond the subparticle, it is physics. Even beyond the vehicle, energy, it is physics. There are two aspects, two faces through which these forces are working. When it is working as a physical force at the subparticle level, there may be robots, malaika. When it is working as a force, junud, it may be an energy. Energy is material, is matter, vehicle. So connectivity with the Creator Lord at the metaphysical level and even beyond the metaphysical, that is at the transcendent level, now in this process allows us to at least conceive that there can be a connection, there can be a connectivity with the Creator Lord, even if you go through the scientific channel, through the scientific thinking, through the scientific philosophy. Now, Taqwa as consciousness is the function of intelligence and cognition. We had already seen this, that Taqwa as consciousness, it is intelligence and cognition, idrak. And as consciousness, as intelligence, it comprises general intelligence and emotional intelligence both. We had referred to that. This is just a repetition to remind this. Taqwa as consciousness, and I'm emphasizing we are just discussing one aspect, not even fear, not even piety. Consciousness as function of intelligence is a function of intelligence and cognition. And what is intelligence? Taqwa is not just an ordinary thing. In order to create taqwa, the connection, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a lot of technologies, features, techniques. When you say that my computer is connected, it has connectivity, it has Wi-Fi. It's not just saying Wi-Fi is not an ordinary thing. There are some satellites working on it. There is internet technology. There are computers. There are so many gadgets. There are ports. There are wires. There are wireless things which are happening. So, in order to create the intelligence for taqwa, in order to create taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created intelligence. Intelligence, what is intelligence? Intelligence is the capacity, ahliyat, for abstraction, zikr, logic, understanding, fikr, self-awareness. Self-awareness, I had discussed that. Self-awareness, and in this aspect, I also discussed that self-awareness here means that when I'm aware of myself, then I have to recognize, realize the finiteness of my own position vis-a-vis the cosmos. And when I determine my finiteness, smallness, my finiteness with reference to the cosmos, I am taken over by the awe. Taken over by the awe of my own finiteness, nothingness, smallness before the creator of the cosmos. If I'm so finite between as compared to the cosmos, what is my position before the creator of the cosmos? I have to bow down. I have to submit out of awe to God. This is the scientific way leading to God. Scientific way of understanding the awe of God, taqwa, self-awareness. Self-awareness requires self-organization by dynamics of mind. The training of the Prophet, peace be upon him, right from Hira, right from the first revelation, and continuing through Mudassir, Muzammil, and all along up to Annas. It provides us a module, a timetable, a course, which is in fact the course of self-organization by the dynamics of mind. This is here that we fail to connect the science, use the science for connectivity with God. Self-organization by the dynamics of mind, nafs, wa nafsin wa ma sawaha. What is that which makes it nafsul mutmainna? Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutmainna. Allah is creating connectivity, calling through this faculty of mind. Ya ayyatuha nafsul mutmainna irji ila rabbik radiyatan mardiya. Self-organization by dynamics of mind, and organization is an order. Order in interactions. Interactions, first of all, within the neurons, the firing of the neurotransmitters, the order in the brain itself, the order between the sadr and the qalb, the order between the qalb and the fuad, the order between the sama and basar. If the media has not synchronized, then the voice and the picture, the video, they will not match. Order in the interactions, interrelationships in a system. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the entire model of Quran is creating an order in the interactions for oneself within the body, and interaction with the environment, interactions in the society, and in the relationships with God. Order on time, when the sun is rising, when the sun is setting, when the moon is reaching its manazil. Order in the interactions in a system, as a system, not haphazard, not random. Behusbanin, order in the interactions in a system, able to survive agitation. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that let the kuffar who violate this order. What is the meaning of kafir? Kafir is the one who violates the law, who violates the order, who goes against the order, who doesn't accept it. let them perish in their own anger, in their own agitation. What is agitation? Agitation is the disorder, misinteraction, turmoil within different components, physical or otherwise, within the body, within the mind, in the thought process. Prophet was never disturbed by any challenge, even when he was migrating on the way or he was in the battlefield, able to survive the agitation, able to survive the challenge. Organization of inner experience, organization, order. Without order, one cannot one cannot organize one's own experience. You have seen people trembling. When there is a shock, when there is a challenge, people tremble. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us about the mind of the Prophet, his thought process, when he was shown the Najm is a Hawa, what to talk of the body. Even his eye did not blink. He was not challenged by such a great, awful manifestation which was made before him. Organization of inter-experience is central to self-regulation. The person who has these controls, this organization, this order, khuluqin azim, self-regulation in thought and action. Prophet was on khuluqin azim. He is the most self-regulated person. He had total control of the nafs, regulated. What is nafsin mama sabaha? What is that which regulates the nafs? Self-regulation. Then it definitely requires learning. Adam had the technology, was given the technology, was fitted with the technology, was given the features, but he could not use them unless allama Adama asma'a kullaha, till he was given the entirety and the depth, kulliyatan, of all the information packages, asma. He was taught, and Allah himself became the teacher. He taught him. Without learning all these features, they have no meaning. Emotional intelligence, I've already spoken. This is also the second part. And then reasoning, tawakkul, then planning, even for the population dynamics, demographics. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells that your women, your female force, they are your human capital. Hers, they are your capital. This is a human capital. Plan for the people. And in another ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that you plan, you seek resources, you plan for the offspring which you are asking for, which you are demanding, which you are expecting. Plan, even in that aspect, even in that respect. So reasoning, planning, then creativity, critical thinking. For what? For solving the problems of my own life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent me on this planet, and there are many challenges for solving my own problems, solving the problems of my family, solving the problems collectively of the community, of the society, of the environment. Let me reconnect it here. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave in order to give taqwa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave intelligence, and in order to create the capacity for intelligence, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created all these features. So taqwa is not an ordinary thing, and taqwa lies at the root of the purpose lies at the root of the purpose to solve the problems which evolve on the earth. And that was the difference which was created by upgrading Adam over all other insan. They could not manage the planet, but Adam can manage the planet because he has been fitted with all these features. For Sawaituhu, it took time. Then intelligence reflects broader and deeper capability. It has degrees, broader and deeper capabilities for comprehending environs and making sense of them. Just comprehending the environs is not enough. Animals comprehend their environs. For example, when the tsunami comes, the scientific observations have shown that animals come to know before the human beings. It means they have the comprehension of the environs, what is happening in the electromagnetic sphere of the world, of the earth. But just comprehending does not mean that you can solve the problem. It is making sense of them. Why the earth is trembling? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us? Why there's an earthquake? There's a science. Maybe the day comes when the man can predict the earthquake in advance, can plan in advance, meet the challenge in advance. In the past, understanding the rain was difficult for man. Understanding the wind was difficult. Understanding the thunder was very difficult for man to understand. Now the tsunami, one day may come, a day may come when one may understand the science of earthquakes. It's developing. Seismology. It is developing. So comprehending the environment is not sufficient. It is making sense of them. And making sense of them is possible only when we have the capabilities. And these capabilities have been given in the intelligence, known as intelligence. And intelligence is part of taqwa. Taqwa is not possible without intelligence. Allah doesn't expect taqwa from the animals. He's giving an example that they are not equal. They are not same. They are not similar. So making sense of them. Then comes emotional intelligence. Intelligence, general intelligence is the capability. I'm using different words here. General intelligence is the capability, and within that, emotional intelligence is the ability. Ability to convey, communicate, and comprehend, understand emotions in the understandable terms. Song, fasting is one of the example that the emotional intelligence. I had covered this topic while discussing Song. I think perhaps when I had delivered lectures during Ramadan to Hikmat-e-Quran Institute, that one of the aspects of Song is enhancing the level of emotional intelligence. What is that? It means enhancing the level of compassion, feeling for the fellow, feeling for the hunger of the other. After a number of days, when a loaf of bread came to the Prophet, he asked Aisha radiallahu anha to first see in the street if there is any hungry person. Let us share with him. Umar was delivering flour, rice, grains, even at night to the people who were hungry. So this aspect of ability, emotional intelligence, refers to the ability to convey and understand, comprehend the emotions in understandable terms. You tell the people many times that people are hungry. They will not understand. One of the cardiologists, he was discussing in some subject somewhere, and he said that in the filthy, wealthy classes, their children, that they don't know what is hunger because the fridge is available anytime. They have fridge not only in the living room, but they have the fridge in the uh, bedroom also. And I've seen in one case at least that they had the fridge in the bathroom, in the restroom, fridge. They could not wait till going out and taking the coke from there or anything. They don't understand the meaning of hunger. I read one survey of World Bank on poverty in 2000. What is poverty? They were asking questions from the people throughout the world. It was a big survey. One answer touched me. Some person, that surveyor, they asked a question from a person, what is poverty? A poor man. He asked from the poor man, what is poverty? He said, you want to know poverty? Then come to my dwelling and see it yourself. Feel it yourself. So these things are not just to be explained, they are to be felt. And for feeling, one has to have that capacity, and that is emotions. But emotions are not just enough. Understanding, comprehending the emotions and understandable terms. What is hunger? You have to explain it. We have to understand it in the understandable terms. This, in general terms, in sociology, emotional intelligence at a higher level, at a collective level, in the sociology, in the society, is also called social intelligence. Social intelligence is basically another name at the societal level for the social intelligence, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence may be individual, it may be social. Social intelligence is intimately related to emotional intelligence. There cannot be any concept of social intelligence without emotional intelligence. So these two elements, emotional intelligence, general intelligence, and their capability and their ability and features for them, they were given in order to provide taqwa, create taqwa, consciousness as consciousness, fear as fear, and piety as piety, all then combined together, they come under the umbrella of taqwa of God. I think I stop here. I may be becoming too technical here. So next time, Allah willing, we will start from here. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فإنك يا ربنا تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليك. اللهم ادخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. اللهم اخرجنا من ظلمات الجهل والوهم إلى نور العلم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم بفضلك ورحمتك أعلي كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وعز المسلمين يا أكرم الأكرمين. Oh Allah, spread your mercy upon us, shower us with your blessings, increase our knowledge, grant us forgiveness, and reward us with the company of the prophets in the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, forgive our parents and all our friends and relatives who are sick, who have passed away. Oh Allah, make their graves garden from heaven and grant them the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, we have many of our friends and relatives who are sick. Oh Allah, we have our son Ma'raj, our daughter Aisha Wani, our brother Osmani, and several others. Oh Allah, grant all of them full and speedy recovery. Oh Allah, guide our children, protect them, and make them righteous. Oh Allah, we have many of our brethren in Palestine that are facing barbaric enemy, unjust world, and complacent Muslim nation. Oh Allah, grant them victory, heal their trauma, protect their helpless, and fulfill their needs. Oh Allah, remove their suffering and grant them peace and prosperity. Oh Allah, we ask you in every name you have elected for yourself, that none of us leave this gathering but his pains have been relieved, his worries have been removed, his debts have been paid, his weaknesses have been concealed, his sins have been forgiven, and his needs have been fulfilled. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.